Our speaker today will be Demian and Yumiko Dunkley. But to welcome them up, please welcome up Dr. Ki-hoon Kim, our senior pastor here at Las Vegas Heavenly Parents Holy Community.
Thank you. Good morning once again. Please be seated. Reverend Craig Smith, don't forget that today introduce newcomers today. I met so many newcomers downstairs, coffee shop around, and I met very young people around from the world. And thank you so much, this newly born baby. This child smiled at me this morning. So, by the way, girl or boy? Girl. Ah, yes. Yeah, girl smiled at me this morning. So how wonderful, and smile back to her. And I see many newcomers from Sorbonne University language study class, UNLV, and I'd like to introduce them, each one of them later. Also, we have President Lee, Wongo University, and ESL student as well. So I'd like to introduce Wongo President later on before we dismiss our Sunday service. Today, we are so grateful and blessed once again. Our HSA USA Family Federation President, National President and National Chairman, Reverend Dunkley and his family again are with us. So this is a great opportunity. We can learn and we can hear, we can be inspired. Our national president, what's going on, centering on true mother's leadership, how we can adopt and inherit the true mother's spirit for the sake of this country, Heavenly USA. Before I introduce Reverend Dunkley, I'd like to share my visit yesterday, one-day short trip, San Francisco Bay Area Family Church. And yesterday, we dedicated the San Francisco Bay Area Family Church 천심원 special prayer room. This is inside the 천심원, and very beautiful true parent picture, and 효진님 and 흥진님, 데모님's picture there, and so many family members gathered together, maybe over 150 family members joined in, and we had a very deep and sincere prayer conditions. We have a cutting ribbon ceremony. This is a school classroom before, and used some other purpose, and they remodeled and new floor, wooden floor, and then painted around the wall. So beautiful. I told them, I never been to 천심원 prayer room beside Las Vegas, this big and beautiful 천심원 prayer room. And they give a big hand. So I share about the 천심원 Providence, centering on true mother, and how we brought the great miraculous works all around the world. And when we come into the 천심원 prayer room, they can see so many different eyes, and they open spiritual eyes and spiritual body, open their heart to understand true parent providence as well as heavenly parent providence. And as Reverend Dunkley came to president and national chairman, and we start 40 days special condition, we start America. So since July 7 until August 13, we are in the 40 days special condition. So we start with again True Mother's memoir every morning nationwide, around the nation, centering on that vertical, clear, and very sincere devotion we are doing every morning at the Chunshim So please join together. If you cannot join, and you can join home reading this True Mother's memoir, participate in these 40 days condition and prayer. And San Francisco Family Church, this is a very late Chunshimon prayer opening, but however, their spirit is very, very high. And True Mother mentioned, we really ignite big fire from West Coast to East Coast. So we had last month's big ceremony in Los Angeles, and yesterday San Francisco. That West Coast ready, move to East Coast. And we have a Belvedere Family Church 2 weeks ago, and we have a Washington, D.C. Family Church, and 3 months ago. So we have every big cities now, Chunshimon special prayer room, as True Mother directed, and as Reverend Dunkley came back to America as chairman and national president. One thing before I introduce Reverend Dunkley, always True Mother told me I raised Reverend Dunkley here in America as a national president, and then mothers assigned him to Asia as a continental directors, and his family came back. So he has enough experiences centering on True Mother's leadership, national leader and continental leader. Asia, so came back with 2 titles, not only 1 titles, national president and regional president. So let us welcome our beloved brother and father and what? Friend. Let us invite Reverend Dunkley, today's main speaker. Flowers presentation first. Yumiko-san, please come over here. Because this is actually first Sunday service as a national president here in Las Vegas Family Church. So we prepared welcoming flower, beautiful bouquet, and offering by Mr. Jack Sato and Gloria Sato. Go center, go center. Yes. Go, please take a picture. Go around. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And we have another gift. Please come up. Yeah, Reverend Dunkley, we have another gift for you and for your leadership. Thank you.
That's it. Thank you. Thank you, Bishop Kim. Another round of applause for Bishop Ki-Hoon Kim. Thank you. Thank you for the flowers and the gifts. Please be comfortable. I love the sound of crying babies. You know? You know who made me really love the sound of crying babies? Actually, not my babies. Although Hannah has a most acute cry when she was a baby, not really cry, like that. But actually, it was, I think, a monthly meeting or some very official meeting, and there was a baby in the room. It may have been a church Sunday, but Bishop Kim, he mentioned, I love the sound of crying babies because it means we have a future. Isn't that right? I say, no crying babies is a problem. So crying babies, be free. Families, be welcome. Yeah, thank you. So happy Sunday, everyone. The title of today's message is Embrace. Who likes to be embraced? Some of you? Well, at the beginning, everybody's spending a long time embracing. I think everybody likes to be embraced, right? So when do you like to be embraced? All the time? No. Some people have some, extra jacket. But as a child, maybe you like to be embraced. Even if as an adult, but actually every child likes to be embraced. Isn't that right? How many problems can you solve just by holding your child? Everything can, for your child, very simple, either sleep or food, but always embracing. So I believe true parents are the king and queen of embracing. Do you believe? Some people say maybe we don't like. Actually, everybody likes to be embraced, especially when we're in pain, or especially when we're in need. We like to be embraced. So if you're with your partner, hold their hand. If you're with your parents, hold their hand. Encourage one another. So true parents can embrace even the enemy. Even the enemy. So who's the enemy? So when you think of true father, maybe you think, Kim Il-sung. He's like a big, high-level enemy. But what about our enemy? Who's our enemy? Probably the person that's a little bit hard to embrace, right? So true parents, true father, true mother lead the way in that area also. So did you maybe read in Godable this morning? This morning, Godable from Champumagyang, right? Father is a deep experience in Danbury prison, where he was sent, and he felt, I can pay indemnity. But this was also Father's way to embrace America. When he was in prison, he mentions that he could learn even more about America. He found the best and the worst there. You read this morning, maybe, Godable. So think about convicts. Some of these guys are really strong. I mean, a lot of them, they have to be tough. So does that big, tough, strong guy need to be embraced? Does he want to be embraced? Probably not. Right? Even if he does, he doesn't want to admit it. Right? If possible, he wants to be so big that he has to walk sideways through the door because he's so big. Just imagine that guy. Point is, Father loved those people such that they felt like peaceful around Father, right? Even criminal doesn't want to show bad things in front of Father, right? So in Godable this morning, we read that the police, the security at the prison testified that the prisoners, when they're close to Reverend Moon, they don't want to drink alcohol in front of him. They don't want to smoke in front of him. They hide those bad things, not from one another, probably not even from the security, but from Reverend Moon, from Father. Isn't that interesting? And Father talks about how he creates that environment, is really loving and living for others. So not so much what he's saying even, but over the course of the first 6 months, he subdued everyone. And they just felt attracted to Father. What part of their heart felt attracted to him? The outer shell? No, I think that inner heart, that inner child that does want to be embraced. So it's quite different than the burly, muscular, or smart, criminal mind. No, they really want to be embraced. So Father has that kind of testimony in Danbury. That's how they're able to love the enemy, I believe, and embrace anyone. How? You catch my point? How? How does Father look at others? How does Mother look at others? And no matter who they are, find it in their heart to love them, embrace them. What do you think? They look at them as their child, so parental love. But it's hard, right? Because adults need to be accountable for certain things, right? But if we struggle with somebody, if we take a moment just to imagine their inner baby, their inner child, or some level, right, Justin, at some level they're maybe stuck about something as a child, even though we're big, like Diodone, so tall and handsome. But maybe some parts, even tall people, even muscular people, even very successful people, there's some part in their heart that is still like a child. I believe that's a result of, many things. But true parents look beyond the exterior and they see the child within you, within me. Don't you think so? Doesn't that make it a little bit easier? I heard some people say that when they see me, they think I'm really, some very interesting words they use, actually. I won't repeat. Not bad words, but they have some impression of me that's different from my impression of me. Or maybe they think it looks confident or something like that, but actually, no, So what about that inner part of our heart? No matter what you look like on the outside, don't you have that tender heart inside that wants to be embraced, Justin? Even a Marine wants to be hugged? Yes. I believe that true parents' technique, artistic technique, has something to do with being able to see the child within each of us. Right? I'm sure when Mother sees Andy and Lydia Compton, they're our elder brother and sister, but I'm sure when Mother sees you, she feels, oh, my babies. My babies. And my babies who have great responsibility. So she does want us to fulfill great things, but at the same time, she really understands that we are children. True parents understand that we are children. So we are living, why I'm talking about embrace is because Mother's talking about it. We are living in the realm of true Mother's embrace. We are living in the era of true Mother's embrace for the first time in human history. The first time in human history, God's only begotten daughter is born. And we, as children, get to experience for the first time what it is, heavenly parents' complete love. Not just the sort of, you can do it, masculine love. Sometimes, I don't know, fathers, you don't do that, right? Look how gentle you are with your baby. But at a certain point, the father, encourages the children to go beyond themselves. It's so painful to watch for the mother, maybe. But for the first time, we have a true mother's love. Do you feel that? Or you have some conceptual idea? I believe Mother really wants us to feel it, right, Sarah? Mother wants us to resonate and understand. This is something quite different, quite new. Who doesn't want to feel the embrace of Mother's love? Everybody wants to. So, Mother mentioned to me recently in Korea, this is Mother's words. This is, you'll never see published. This is my notes from her private meeting. She said, You have to be able to embrace everything and everyone. I said that I've waited 63 years to realize Heavenly Parents' dream. I saw the need for you in America, Demian. That's why I appointed you as the leader for America. So please embrace everyone. So the circumstances around these words were for me to understand that my understanding of my capacity to embrace is quite different than mother's expectation of my ability to embrace. Because, Susanna, from my point of view, I look at myself and I think, yeah, I'm quite a soft person. I'm quite an embracing person. I think many people think I'm quite an intense person, maybe, but I'm not someone really to pick fights or get revenge or think about revenge or this kind of, by nature, not just because of my job. Even sometimes my wife accuses me of being too soft, right? So, I'm wondering, mother's telling me to embrace, she's trying to teach me something, and I'm kind of wondering, wait, mother, maybe you misunderstand. I'm quite an embracing person. But why is she telling me specifically about this? It was already 3 years ago when I went to Asia. I gave a sermon called, "We Are Living in the Era of True Mother's Embrace," and I was reading from Mother's book. So from my position, already many years, I'm preaching about the fact that we're living in the era of True Mother's Embrace and that mother's arms are only 2 or 3 feet long, but we form the capacity for mother to embrace the entire world. 8 billion people is how many mother's praying for. How can one person possibly embrace everyone? So we are, Heavenly Parents' body, True Parents' body, able to extend that love and embrace to all humanity. Would you like to be in that kind of community? Would you like to be that kind of community where really you feel, honestly, even we have a high standard, but you, no matter who you are or where think of Father in prison, He's not judging them and accusing them. No matter what they did, He's embracing them. Even without saying words, they feel welcome and peaceful in His midst. He speaks of the Italian prisoner, just giving a shout out to the Italians. He speaks of the Italian prisoner who expressed to Father, even more than my wife, even more than the moments of my excitement when I married and met my wife, I feel somehow more joyful, more peaceful in your presence, and I don't know why. He volunteered to stay up late at night, throughout the night when you're not supposed to be awake, to guard Father so that nobody would cause harm to him, because he didn't want anything to happen to him. And he didn't know why. It wasn't because Father taught him something with words, but because Father carried that love, that action of living for others. You could just feel it. Same with Mother. I told you before, maybe I didn't tell you, but I tell people, you can imagine. Come up to the Chanjangung, come and meet True Parents, come and meet True Mother. How would you feel if right now I tell you that Mother's upstairs and you need to go meet her? How do you feel? Do you feel ready? Are you wearing the right shoes? Are you wearing the right shirt? Are you wearing the right clothes? Are you wearing the right heart? Do you have something to say? Do you feel ready? Now Kimi's not wearing a tie. Are you ready? Are you ready? How would you face? And so many people feel that it's a little bit intense. But actually, it's not Mother's presence that makes me tense, right? It's like the gate, the guardsman at the gate, the second guardsman, the third guardsman, and then the protocol, and then all of the other men in nice dark suits with ties. It's like, they're not wearing sunglasses, but it's a very formal. But as soon as Mother walks into the room, it's like, I feel like that. I feel like that. So we're living in the era of True Mother's Embrace, and I believe that we all have something more to learn about what that really means. Because even though we think maybe we're forgiving people, even though we think we're like an open people, especially on the West Coast, right? Hey, how you doing? Having a good day? Especially in California, the further you go, right? But I feel a big change of spirit from east to west in our behavior, right? You feel it? But are we as embracing as a heavenly parent? Oh, but you say that's impossible. But Mother's asking us to be that way. Mother's asking me to be that way. And I thought I was pretty good. But Mother's saying, be careful. Make sure you embrace everything and everyone. And for a little while, I felt like, well, maybe Mother doesn't understand me. I thought I was pretty good. My wife tells me I'm too soft, right? So, but actually, no. Then after some days, I realized, no. I'm not beautiful enough from God's perspective. Like, I'm not really fully embracing fully. So what can I learn? How can I do that? What can I do to be able to embrace my sister, my brother, my father, my mother, my children, whatever the case may be, when there is a difficulty? Not when it's like a Sunday picnic and we're all on the grass, it's easy. But when there's that difficulty, Susanna, how do we do it? How do we overcome? Especially when you see the things that those people should be doing, or you see the things they shouldn't be doing, can you still embrace them? It's really not easy, actually. But I think a true parent's technique is first they always think they see from the parent's viewpoint, which means they see the cute little child in you, in me, like this. How could you scold a baby like this, right? Just you want to embrace and feed and love and hold. So we have a lot of work to do, but Bishop Ki-Hoon Kim, appointed as the senior pastor already, I heard many of his ideas, and it's all sounding exciting to me. Like really, I can feel he wants to create that kind of culture and community of love and embrace. And a few days ago in the Chonchimwon morning hundoke, as we were reading Mother's book, he was talking about what it's like in the early days, what it was like in Korea, especially in the church, but anywhere in Korea, the culture of not just hello, how you doing, but you survived the night. You're alive. Did you eat? Did you eat breakfast? Did you eat lunch? The form of greeting is just grateful, gratitude. Gratitude that I can be alive another day, and gratitude that you can be alive another day, and that we can both be alive to mark that moment with a, wow, so nice to see you made it. Did you eat yet? This is beautiful culture. And it comes from a people who know suffering. But when we live in an environment that's very comfortable, it's easy to become complacent, it's easy to become a little bit more self-centered, and it's easy to just assume that the sun's going to rise again to tomorrow morning, assume that there's going to be food on the table tomorrow morning. I know some of us worry about that, but we can't compare America to the state of certain countries around the world, and certainly even Korea just 50 years ago. And so true parents and the church born out of that milieu, really, when Mother says, go back to this, the spirit of the early church, she means that kind of spirit. We're really one body, one skin, one culture, one family. You want to be that kind of family? To be that kind of family, we have to be willing to look beyond our limitations. Can you do that? I think a technique can be remembering that each of us has a child inside that does want to be, heard and embraced and understood, and then becomes a little bit easier to understand the motivation sometimes, but behind people's mistakes or people's shortcomings. Are you with me? So I want to share with you one last little story. When I was digesting this word from Mother about how to become a person of even greater capacity to embrace, and she even mentioned to Yumiko, you can help teach your husband how to embrace. And then, Yumiko and I, afterwards, we looked at each other and said, wait, I thought Demian was the softie and Yumiko was the nuts and bolts one. So why is Mother asking Yumiko to so it's very interesting. And I want to tell you a short story to conclude. When we were in Korea, we went to the HJ Familia Cafe. It's Beautiful cafe. The whole building's made out of glass, and Mother built it it leans over the lake with a terrace extending over the lake, and you just see the beautiful Chungpyeong Lake and the mountains surrounding the lake, and they have the finest quality coffee. I think we ordered a latte because for some reason cappuccino's not on the menu. I don't know what Koreans have against cappuccinos. But whenever you say, can I have a cappuccino, in many places they're like, huh? So, okay, I'll have a latte. But there is a difference. So we're drinking our lattes. We're sitting there at a little table right up against the window. And the window's here. And outside the window is a terrace. And then there's sort of a glass wall so that you can see through to the lake. It's a beautiful view. So it's just the four of us. Somehow we found 20 minutes just to spend together to have a latte. And I can't remember what we were talking about, but at a certain point, Timothy goes, whoa, what happened? Well, a bird just fell from the sky, he said. So we're right by the little door there. So we went out onto the terrace, and there's this tiny little bird, about, I don't know, maybe a sparrow. It couldn't have been any bigger than 2.5 inches, this big. And it was on its back. It was alive, but he was on his back and kind of like, when a beetle is trying to get back up on its feet, what do you do when you see a beetle trying to get back up on its feet? You squash him? Now even a beetle, you try maybe flick with a piece of paper. I don't know, maybe Kanisha, you like to just get him and then put him back up. I don't know. I've met some BCs that actually eat them in San Diego. Do you remember? Boys get a kick out of telling you they eat insects. This was a bird, a cute little bird. And this little guy was trying to get back up onto his feet, but he couldn't do it. And so I got down there and I tried to put him over. It took 2 or 3 times, and finally, his legs kind of looked a little bit uncomfortable. I'm not a specialist, but felt to me like his tiny, this is like minuscule little toes, they seemed a little bit bent. His feet looked a little bit in pain, so I didn't know if he could actually stand up. But I got him back up onto his feet eventually, and he was kind of like crooked and just like stuck there. And I thought, this little guy, is he going to die? Is he going to make it? And so I take my index finger, which is about the size of the bird, and I just start stroking on the back of his head, his little head. You could feel the soft little feathers. I couldn't embrace him, but I could stroke the head. Right? So as I'm stroking the head, Yumiko, Timothy, and Jonathan are standing around watching me down on the ground, stroking this little bird. And, here I am. I'm like, it doesn't move. But it takes, it's kind of exciting because you get to stroke a bird. He's not leaving. It's kind of fun. But I'm just trying to love it back to life. But I don't know. I'm thinking it's not going to make it. Come on, kiddo. Come on, buddy. And I look, at this point, I look around my shoulder and I look at the entire glass wall of the cafe. There's all these Korean ajummas and other members sipping on coffees, looking at what's he doing, What's he doing with that little bird, And then I try to give Timothy a turn. Like, Timothy, you try stroking him. We take turns a little bit, but he's not moving. He's just like there. I think this guy's going to bake. He's going to cook right there on the sun, on the patio. He's not going to make it. I'm trying to think, what can we do? Then Yumiko has a great idea. She's like, we have to take him to the vet. We have to take him to the vet. And I'm thinking, okay, well, we have a car. I don't know if there's a vet in Sorak. I haven't seen one. There's about 55 coffee shops. I haven't seen any vets. And if there are any vets, the only kind of pets I've seen in Korea are the kind that cost like $5,000 or $10,000 now. Like the designer dogs, they're starting to get very popular. I hadn't seen any pets in Sorak. And so I'm thinking, Mama, if there is a vet, I don't know where it is, but if there is a vet, we're going to take this little, what are we going to do? We're going to take it in a shoebox. Oh, we have to take it to the vet. We have to save it. Meanwhile, Timothy and me are going, I don't think that's going to work. So I try stroking it again. And then I realized that, okay, its legs are damaged, clearly, and it needs to be in the shade. So where can we send this bird that it will be safe and give it a fighting chance? Because if we leave it here, it's going to die. Even you thought so, right, Mama? He's going to die. So Mama's worried. I'm worried. The boys are worried. And then I get this fantastic idea. I said, I know what we got to do. Let's pick him up because I think he can fly. Let's pick him up and throw him. And then he'll be able to fly and find someplace safe to live. And so I'm like, okay, I know what I can do, honey. I'm going to pick him up, and I'm going to just toss him over. She's like, no! Don't do that. I'm thinking, why? He's going to die here. You got to give him a fighting chance. He's a bird. He has to fly. That's his job, to fly. He's got to figure that part out. And she's like, absolutely not. I tried 2 or 3 times. I'm thinking, like, look, if we just throw him overboard, and like one of the kids is like, Dad, you know what? If you throw him overboard, he's just going to be like in the lake, and then he's gone. No wings, no feet going to get him out of that trouble. So we stay there, we wait, we keep stroking his head, and then out of the blue, he starts to flap his wings, and he's like, whacks himself into the glass banister, right? And then he like flops on the floor, and then he tries again, flap against the glass again, like 2, 3 times. He's just like knocking it, and we're all like, come on, you can do, like that. And then finally he gets off the ground, and he flies, and he flaps, little guy. He makes it all the way into the shade of the nearby tree, and he settles on a branch. He made it. So as I was thinking about Mother's words, I realized, that's why God gave me that experience with the little bird, to understand what Mother means. I'm trying to help. I'm doing the right thing. I know he needs to fly, but you can't make people fly before they're ready to fly. Even fathers, you can't teach your child to ride a bike before they've got the training wheel part down, right? There's a time and there's a place, and there's time and there's patience. And when Mother's referring to waiting 63 years for certain things that need to happen, she's talking about 63 years of her own patience, waiting for the right time. And we are the people alive at the time when we need to, not just as a business as usual, but really capture the essence of who Mother is today. And with that, we will be able to fly. But we can't push anyone or throw anyone overboard into that experience. It's like up to each and every person, right? That's what I learned from the little story with the bird, and how I could digest the meaning or the deeper meaning of what Mother is saying to me. So I believe that we are living in the era of true Mother's embrace, so that we can embrace one another. We are living in the era of true Mother's embrace. America is living in the era of true Mother's embrace. This community is living in the era of true Mother's embrace. And it was this community a year and a month or 2 ago that Mother came, May 30, to open up the Chonshim one, which is in her bedroom, to give us a place where we can bring our broken wings. We can bring our mangled toes. We can bring our little child that has questions that were never answered, or have frustrations that we couldn't find the answer to, and to pray together with God. We can pray under a tree. I like praying on Mount Charleston, but this is a place that Mother designated for us to have that kind of experience. Anytime from 5 a.m. to 10 p.m. And what Bishop Kim just mentioned about the major cities around the country, this is what we want to do. Every community, Mother wants to have that place where our blessed families, our members, our guests can be embraced directly in the loving embrace of our Heavenly Parent, of God, who loves us and sees the child in us, no matter how great we are or how terrible we may think we are, no matter whether we're a criminal or whether we think we're great. All of us has that part in us, that little, that little bird that just needs a little time, a little embrace, and then we will be able to fly. America, we will be able to fly. So that's our path. So I just got an email. In a day, I need to present America's strategy. So Mother, America's strategy. So 3 a.m. on Tuesday morning, I'll be up sharing our strategy. So what's our strategy? Right now, our strategy is like that. Just to pray together and revive together. And when we read Mother's words, we can feel directly the love of our Heavenly Parent and our Mother that's longing to speak to us through the words and even between the words. Many people read it once, read it twice. But then when I ask them, no, read more carefully, more slowly. What do you see? Every page, they find something new. So with that, this is the community, the Heavenly Parent, holy community that we are building. And so that's going to be my major strategy proposal for America. We got over 300 million people in America, and there's so many of them, like Greg mentioned in the morning, so many of them looking, seeking, praying to find something, but they don't know necessarily where to get it. But it's not something that can be explained or taught. It only can be experienced, and each in our own time. So God bless you, Las Vegas family community. I believe this is going to be the most embracing community and the community that other pastors come to learn from you, because you will be that kind of community. Loving, forgiving, embracing, and one with Heavenly Parent and true parents. Aju? Okay, thank you. So before I pray, I have one final thing. I'd like to invite Yumiko up. Could you come? Yes. So before I left Korea, I already mentioned in the inauguration, I got a text early in the morning from Yonanim, and she said, how do you spell your wife's name? So I texted her, I spell my wife's name. And then a little later in the day, my wife's name is Yumiko Dunkley. And so I was invited up to the Cheonjangung and Mother's room. And she said this. She said, Demian, Mother will give you something special. You should offer Jeongseong in the Chonchim-won, so offer your prayers and devotion in the prayer room. And pray to restore America. Who wants to live in a happy, restored America? That would be good, right? Live in a restored America. You should focus on the blessed families, and that is why Mother is giving you a gift, a special gift. Mother will give you 12 sweaters. So 12 of her clothes, 12 sweaters in this bag, and she gave a suitcase, a big black suitcase. And then she said, there are wives in America who play a providential role, so you should pick those 12 wives, and they should witness 24 hours a day. They should work hard wearing True Mother's clothes. Do you understand? That is why True Mother is giving your couple 12 clothes, and there is also one there in for your wife as well. Please take it with you. And then Yonanim handed me this big black suitcase, and with a little note to Yumiko on top, and that's what I was carrying. For some of you that saw in New York, that's what I had. And you also know that in New York, I called on one name in particular that wasn't there physically, but she's here with you. And don't worry, this is the 6th of the 12, and there's another 6 that Yumiko's praying on. But we have to first complete what we committed to already in New York. So I'd like to call upon this sister right now. Her name is Makiko Watanabe. Please come up to the stage. You can come up, your couple. Yes. Now, I didn't tell her before that Mother said witness 24 hours a day. So please come, let's go. And so this gift is from Mother. And we can take a picture. Yeah. So you can also take it out and show everyone. Maybe you like it. So all of these sweaters, very similar, but different colors, each of them. And you can wear, even in Las Vegas, I believe you can wear, wow, look, she's putting in. I'll give a big round of applause. Congratulations. So we don't have time for, did we take a picture? One more? But unfortunately, you don't have time for lunch because immediately we need to go out and witness. Is that okay? Yeah, give a big round of applause. So this is a substantial love of a mother. Don't you feel it? So, when you think, 12 sisters, is 12 sisters going to, witness to all 300 million Americans? No. But Mother is saying this as an example. And also Mother said, by the way, that for America to be victorious, we need the sisters to unite. You didn't hear that, right? Mother told me, in order for you to be victorious in America, in order for the American movement, in order for America to be restored, we need the sisters to unite. Aju? So let's give a big round of applause for the sisters. So now I will offer a prayer, right, Greg? Okay, please join me in prayer. Dear Heavenly Parent, true parents of heaven, earth, and humankind, we gather here in IPEC, Las Vegas, representing so many different walks of life. So many different nations are represented in our various bloodlines and histories. But each of us come together as one family because of you as our common parent. And because the true parents are bringing us together with this kind of culture to try and bring not just a few, but 8 billion people back home to your bosom, to your embrace. And father and mother sacrifice their entire lives every day, tirelessly, ceaselessly, setting the example, modeling that kind of love that you've been longing to give us. Heavenly Parent, it's not just for us to receive, not just for us to watch or to study from afar, but for us to truly experience the Spirit, the Holy Spirit, the living Spirit, the Spirit of your heart, God, in us. We know that when it rings true in our heart, we are one with you. And in that place, we can embrace everything and everyone. It is from that place that each of us is longing to be able to live, to breathe, and to be received by one another also. So let us in this nation become a great nation beyond the ethnic divides, beyond the religious divides, beyond the historical and political divides. Let us first remember that we are sons and daughters of God, one family under our Heavenly Parent, one family under our Heavenly Parent. Whether old or young, each man is my brother, each lady is my sister. And then each of us is given us an opportunity to build a building block of the heavenly kingdom, which is our family. Receive the blessing of our true parents so that we can be given a foothold to be able to build the grace and the love within our families that we've been longing to experience. There's not a child in the universe that wishes to be born into a family that's suffering and struggling and broken. And yet that is the story of human history. Each of us come through that. So Heavenly Parent, let us be embraced by you. Let us feel true mother's embrace. And let America be seen as a nation around the world that is one to embrace other nations, embrace other people. Let the stars be stars of hope, and let the stripes be the pathways and the highways to heaven, God. That this nation can be an example as an elder brother in this great family of God. Heavenly Parent, we ask that you can bless everyone here today, these brothers and sisters that came here today to receive your grace. Please bless them. Please give them your love, your blessing, your grace, and all the things they're praying for and all the things they're longing for. Let those answers be found, and let their families be truly blessed and their relationships be truly blessed, so that we can see the beautiful child that you gave birth to in each of us. We offer you this in all of our names, and in my name, Demian and Yumiko Dunkley of a blessed central family. Aju.
Thank you, Reverend and Yumiko Dunkley. Please give him a big round of applause.